So, I had a pretty profound energetic experience this weekend that's still spilling over into this week, and I'm still unpacking it, but I want to give you a little preview because I have the sense that it's going to unfold not just for me but everybody in a pretty significant way. Now, if you don't know me, I am a psychic medium and a trance channel, and I'm also an energy anchor. So I process energy physically through my body that is then anchored into the earth and sent out to the rest of humanity for upgrades, healing, really for sort of the shock treatment for the matrix here. And it's this role that, in fact, started the whole 4 a.m. club phenomenon because I experienced something really profound that night energetically and I shared it and it blew up and it became the movement we now know as the 4 a.m. club because it was not just me who had an experience that night, as we now know. Now, if you've been following me since the election, you'll know that was not the only time or the last time that I've experienced significant energy waves. I spoke a lot about the ones that came through in November and December, and they coincided with prophecies given by myself and other channels and psychics and notable members of the 4 a.m. Club. And that brings us to this past weekend, to Easter weekend. Now, leading into the weekend, there was a lot of talk, both in comments and other people's content, and I was receiving a lot of emails from people who were having premonitions, insights about something big happening over the weekend. Now, for people who are new to spiritual work and energy work, it can be really frustrating when we feel this big buildup and we have a sense of anticipation, maybe attachment to what could happen and what we want to happen. And so there's this sense of letdown or disappointment when what we want to see happen doesn't happen. But what we have to understand is that the energies build and do their thing before we can see it manifest in the physical. So this past weekend, I did in fact get hit with many more energy waves to the point that I was completely knocked out, which happens to me sometimes. I'm rendered completely unconscious as I feel the waves moving through, and at various points I did awake enough to feel them moving in. And they are the exact same caliber and vibration as the ones I felt mid to late December. Now, I hesitate to label or identify these waves because to even attempt it, not a good plan. They do so many known and unknown things that we don't want to limit it in that way. But what I can tell you is that when these energy waves move in, it takes a few days for those who are going to anchor, integrate, absorb, and ground the energies. And then we start seeing significant movement, significant buildup in the collective as they then become manifested in the physical. Now, all this notwithstanding, I was shocked to find out that the Pope had passed on Monday. And I say shocked because these energy waves I felt are absolutely related to that. And so to see something happen so suddenly was quite a shock. Now, I've been tagged in a bunch of videos about this of other creators who have unpacked it beautifully. I've included them in the comments or in the caption below. Now, I am still formulating my thoughts on this because it was such a significant happening and will continue to have more ripple effects as the months and years go on. But what I wanted to say right now is that any of you who felt anticipation or lead up to the events of this weekend and looked around and were disappointed, you were not wrong. It was a very significant period of energy waves coming in that are going to take shape in ways we can't even anticipate yet. As I continue to process and unpack these waves, I'm still having some pretty profound experiences. And most notably, my channel has been blasted wide open, which is saying a lot because I am a trans medium and I'm a very gifted trans medium. But this has opened me to a point where I am beginning to spontaneously channel in everyday conversation. And I don't mean like, knew what to say to the right person at the right time. That kind of normal channeling is available to everyone. But to where I am feeling the forces, the energies come through and barging through without waiting for me to get into trance, to be relaxed, they're just barging through like a freight train. So I wanted to bring this up for two reasons. Number one, in case you are feeling it too, and you are noticing an expansion in your abilities, or perhaps you're sleepy more than usual, or you're feeling lots of tingles, you're feeling twinges, itches, your body feels different. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor. Always see your doctor. I don't give that kind of advice. But energy has a way of blasting through us significantly for a short period of time and then suddenly those symptoms or feelings disappear altogether. So that's number one. I wanted to give you the heads up of this might be hitting you in a similar way that's affecting your physical body as well as your intuitive abilities, or maybe even opening them for the first time. And the second reason I wanted to bring it up is because I can feel something that's trying to be born through me. And I'm going to be taking some time to figure it out because, like I said, some stuff has been coming through that I've been channeling that is very significant, not just for myself and my understanding of the world and how it works being a human here, but I feel something new is coming through that needs to be shared. And I need to take time with it to figure out how best to deliver it. Now, that's what ties this all back to the Pope. Because although these energies have everything to do with that event, it has nothing to do with that event, and vice versa. The Pope as a male figurehead for a religious movement that has really been the basis for control, patriarchy, religious oppression, the figurehead has now passed away just hours before giving a thorough dressing down to one of the most egregious world leaders acting aggressively without compassion and full patriarchal control. This is wildly significant. It not only signals a formal changing of the guard, as of course the Vatican's going to go into their conclave, they're going to do what they're going to do, but the way this religious leader, whose religion has done so much harm and damage to people all over the world for centuries, this man using his influence over a regime that is now beginning a series of human rights abuses, that is in the middle of it. Of course, it's already begun. This is significant. I said I wasn't going to get into it, that I was going to formulate, but like I said, these things are coming through. These things are coming through that need to be spoken. So what I'm going to do over the next couple days, I'm going to sit with these energies. I'm going to open up. I'm going to sit with spirit and figure how they best want to be delivered. Because what I normally do is a live channeling event and people can come and I go in trance and I channel and then I take questions. Often there's a healing ceremony involved. But this feels significant enough that it might want to be born in some other way, either a course or just, I don't know. I need to sit with it. But what I will say as a final note in this video, some things to watch for as a result of this energy being anchored is the powerless stepping into their power and a new turn of events that signifies that the bulk of the power has in fact changed hands. And it will be manifested in a restoration of power to those from whom it was taken. Now, we've already seen the beginning, the uprising, the revolution that has been unfolding for months here and in the years prior with all of our social justice movements. But this is a significant uptick in the energies that resulted in energies being received and integrated. So watch for this in your personal life as well as watch for it on the world stage. This is world changing. It truly is world changing. And it's just beginning. So we have a lot to look forward to.